Good morning and welcome back to Vice Grip Garage. This is day 3 of the crew cab build. We're trying to get this LS swap with the 4L80E finished up. We're nearing the finish line and we're pretty confident today is going to be the day. No, I'll take that back. We're firing this thing up today. It's going to happen. So it's 0:30 in the morning here. So far in the shop, we've just got Dan over here working away on the interior. He's buttoning up the dash right now. I believe he's going to move into probably the sound deadening and the carpet. I've got a few things to tidy up in the cab as far as wiring goes. I could pass the torch to him, and then I got to run to town and get some speed sensors for the transmission, a couple other small things that we need. And the other guys should be filing in here shortly. We spent a lot of time last night. This is going to sound... It's going to sound weird, but I think we actually planned, like we just, things that need to happen and then we attended to accomplish them in an order. It kind of feels weird, but maybe it's going to help out today. Now, like I said here a minute ago, we're very confident this thing's going to fire up today. There's a couple things that we wish we could do. I'm just going to have to circle back and button those up later down the road, but we're going to have this in a position today that we could fire it up. The biggest thing is getting the fuel tank in, which is going to be wrestling that. I got a seat tank because of a different pump that I wanted to run in there. Fuel sending unit, transmission cooler, transmission cooling lines. We got to run power to the fan for that. It actually has its own individual fan. So instead of running that up front on the firewall or the radiator support, we're putting that under the truck and we're going to make a custom mount for that. So it sits at an angle and is able to scoop quite a bit of air. Keep this transmission cool because not only does it have a pretty big torque converter in it, I intend on hauling a lot of gear and equipment and merchandise and tents and things like that and tools. And then of course, my ultimate goal is, can a guy put a trailer behind this thing and haul independents around or something like that? Go to shows and events. That's what I wanted to do with this truck since day one. But I'm gonna run the mop around really quick, pick some stuff up, head to town, get some parts. I'm sure you're going to see a lot of action here in a second.
Previously on Vice Grip Garage.
Stitch that up, I don't know what it's called. Cross diamond, this new grill here we're going to lay in.
Design?
Installed.
Running it with your knee on top of a flammable fuel jug, scratch starting, still about 300% better than my first. I mean, it was horrible. In walks Kevin.
Hey!
Kevin Tates. And he just strolls in. Hey, how's it going?
This place is hard to find, man.
He invited us over to his shop.
I think everybody left for a field trip.
Where the are you, Derek? They broke my truck. Yeah, take the truck. It'll be fine.
You broke Johnny, Derek?
Okay, don't crank it a lot.
Josh uses his limbs as sparkulator hoses. He got lit up like a Christmas tree.
Took an electrical bullet for the team.
Oh, we were just actually out of gas, so.
That one's done. That's done. Done. Done.
Cross off Chinese tin. Put that one off, all right? They go on.
It just seems to fit better.
So guys, you probably should listen to Jessica.
What did I just say?
So clearly my wife was correct. I don't know why that hurt my brain so bad.
I don't have to take it. I'm out of here. Jared, let's settle this.
Finally. All right, fellas, I want a nice clean fight, okay? No low punches and much of rap punches, and go for it. Good. Let's get the truck done. I feel better.
Oh man, I'm glad we can drop this whole facade.
Tension between Jared and I was 100% fabricated and fake. Jared and I really just wanted to make fun of all the stereotypical car shows on television.
We just kind of thought it would be funny to give you a little something. We'd been getting along great the whole time. Hopefully you enjoy that throwback to terrible 90s car reality TV. It was fun to very terribly reenact very terrible drama.
Thank you guys for coming along for the ride. We had a lot of fun. It was extremely difficult for me to be the bad guy when I was so happy having such a good time, like our cheeks hurt with laughter. This was an amazing experience for every one of us here.
We've got no time for trucks that don't run and crew cabs with no crew. We've got metal to burn, sparks to fly. The next Vice Grip Garage Challenge is just around the bend. Vice Grip Garage.
I'm plumbing everything up, the fuel system, catch can, transmission cooler lines, all that kind of stuff. I'm mounting the transmission cooler.
My strengths coming into this, I'm hoping to knock out the interior with Dan, of course. Probably going to be nudging Derek along the way, keeping him motivated, which will in turn keep the guys motivated to keep all them going and getting this thing done.
I'm Jared from Wrench Every Day. On this project, I've been tasked with the wiring. Nothing is gonna work without electricity flowing back and forth, and I'm here to give you that.
I really don't know what I'm doing here. I'm the guy that does the part that nobody gives a crap about, and that's the inside of the car. But, you know, what the heck.
I'm Josh Mazerel, I'm a professional fabricator. I can weld anything from a broken heart to the crack of dawn.
I'm Terry. I'm gonna bring it. Pretty much anything they need, I'm gonna be there for them. No job is too big, and no job is gonna be too small. That's right.
If I don't get this truck done, I'm gonna lose the barn. But look at this, they're just leaning on stuff. There's nothing getting done. So I don't know.
Vice Grip Garage. Vice Grip Garage.
Another day, another chance, another opportunity. Yeah, I think we're gonna knock it out today. I feel really good about it.
We're in day 3 now. I think we're gonna end up with like 300 hours into this truck between everybody, and how we have all these people from different states, and it's like this completely harmonious relationship. It's like everyone is perfectly getting along. It's pretty crazy, actually.
All I'm doing is watching the edge of my compressor.
He's adding an edge to this, so he puts it on this way, sews it, and then this is gonna get folded around and then sewn again right next to this line. So it's gonna have a nice edge like that all the way around. It's not gonna have a flap or a sharp edge like this. See how there's just a sharp edge? So it's gonna look a lot nicer than that even. Jared's cutting a hole in the floor for the transmission harness.
Trying the fuel sending unit, and hopefully we can get carpet in.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So John and I ran over to Rusty Acres, and we took this off of the orange ramp truck, and it's in great shape. I mean, this should really, get our body lines where we need them. It'll work for now. I might order some billet ones from CVF. They're super light, and they prevent the hood bendage because they use a modern style like spring shock instead of like this 3,000 pound spring on here that Chevy for whatever reason decided they needed. But it'll work for now. I also properly cross-threaded that one, so we're gonna leave that, ignore that. So we're in pretty good shape. We can actually set the hood on now, can't we?
Yes, we can. That works. All right, here, let me know real quick. There you go.
Man.
It's a lot darker in the engine bay.
took this off by myself. I laid a 2x4 on the windshield, dropped the bolts out, and just flipped it up the board and pushed it onto the roof. I saw it. Don't worry about that part of it. Okay, so I think what we should do next is tie in the bottom fenders, and then we can shimmy the hood because we're really close, actually.
Hey, John. Pickled egg or pickled sausage?
Pickled egg.
Pickled sausage? Is that a thing? What we'll do is loosen the hinge bolts, push the hood up, and that'll tilt the whole assembly, and then snug them.
Sounds like crinkle, crunch, crunch, crinkle. Which means it's a little bit happier. It was wonderful.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Dan? And now we just gotta lower the dingleberry so we get latchage, and then we're ready to rock. Oh, you're right. So 3/4?
Yeah, this probably.
Back it up, Terry! What he's up to. I think I might need some of that.
Some weasel piss.
Yep.
Make sure you get it in your eyes.
Yeah, it's pretty close actually. Let that just eat for a minute. Do you ever taste this?
Yeah.
You know, one of the most painful things to experience in life, I keep doing it to remind myself.
PB blaster in the eye.
Brake cleaner.
Brake clean.
Oh,
Just
PB
pulls it
blaster's
out
way
and
worse.
just keeps on giving.
it's like, I'm blind! So far this morning, everything's going good. Got the hood on. Guys are just rocking. So guys walking around the shop, I'm looking for a vice grip, my little one. You know, you got big, medium, little. I needed a little vice grip. And all of a sudden I look over the table and we got a Rock'em Sock'em up there. And I don't know where it came from. I don't even know why it's there, but I did try it out. I broke the ring immediately on it,
But yeah, we're getting the glue on it. So I'm doing the center of it, so we'll put the center in first, because then we don't have to worry about it grabbing everywhere else.
Yesterday I had a problem with the sewing machine. Tried everything that I knew, and that isn't much, but I tried everything I knew with the sewing machine to fix it, and finally stumbled onto a solution. So I was able to use the sewing machine and able to finish the headliner and everything else. So we're all set now. This is contact adhesive, high heat resistant contact adhesive. If you tried to do this with a regular spray can, it will not stay up there. The heat of the roof will bring it right down.
Dan has been battling that sewing machine for the past couple of days. He's really been struggling trying to get the stitching and everything right. He's been working so hard at it. Finally got it put together the correct way, got everything sewn up the way he wanted it. He finished up the headliner this morning, so now we are finally getting ready to put that thing in.
Clean the roof, not that it's dirty.
it's like hospital clean in there.
Like an operating room in here. Finally today, I'm going to be able to have the car on the ground instead of up in the stratosphere where they want it to do all their wires. I just got to clean this up a little bit here. When we put this in, we're going to start it right here.
Start in the center.
So we're going to drop this down through the, okay, and then put it right up to there.
And start sticking it there, sort of square it up, and then work it out from the center.
Exactly. It's just mineral spirits, and mineral spirits is the solvent for all contact adhesives, any kind of adhesive.
Yeah.
So. Now you're not going to set these down so I won't be able to find them, right?
I'll definitely lose these.
I don't necessarily want to do this myself, but I really admire it.
It's fun when it comes out right.
I'm sure it can be extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about this interior.
Yeah.
The stitching is just incredible.
This has got to go through.
Until I know it's in the right.
There you go.
I'm glad Josh did that part, so that way when it's wrong, I can blame somebody else.
So from out here, your seam where the plaid hits the pleather is right on the money. Like this way, it's, you know what I mean? It's hitting the indent of the roof correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice, right where it's supposed
He's
to.
like, yep, I know.
Yeah, he's like, I've done this before, Derek.
The older it gets, the stronger it gets.
Like you?
Yes.
Yeah. You drink it in the morning?
Yes.
Siphon feed glue gun that you can get at Harbor Freight for $20.
Cool.
You need a 2mm tip on this thing, so the glue will go through it easier. It's not like paint. Oh, it's right here, never mind.
You're seeing fine paying attention, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, this glue will get you goofier than you get out.
That's how I felt yesterday with spraying that bed liner. Right now he's just taking the overspray off, so he's using what we're all familiar with, mineral spirits, what we use for our shine juice. But it seems to be taking it, got right off the windows, no problem. Now he's getting this overspray off of this here.
The paint is the other thing.
So how long do you wait after you spray both sides before you tack it?
Yes. It depends on the temperature mainly. The humidity has an effect on it so that it won't dry as fast. If you're spraying this stuff inside in a heated room or something, it doesn't take long at all. But when the humidity's up, when the temperature's up, it takes a little longer to set up.
Well, what do you think for today if it's 70 degrees and...
Well, the 70-degree part is good because this stuff is supposed to be sprayed at 70 degrees or up.
Oh, nice.
But that pretty much never happens. So if I can touch it and not move it around, it's okay. So there really is no set time that you should wait. It's just common sense that would tell you that a little bit longer is better.
Checking out the headliner here. Let me see.
Get in there.
Whoa! Damn, this looks amazing. It's like the contrast cab needed, you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
That looks awesome. Good job, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank you, no problem. You still got those screws that I gave you?
Right here, front pocket find.
This was a test and he passed.
Oh, that looks awesome. We got a new lens for you too. I'll have Jessica go find that. Oops.
Fancy.
You got another one of those lenses? I broke this one too.
No.
Oh, good.
I just can't stop looking at it.
The rear carpet that's on the wall between the box and the cab, got that all glued in so it'll never come out.
Very nice, sir.
Worked out good. This is what the armrest looked like before. I fabricated new armrests for this using the leather and the orange plaid fabric. Should be a lot stronger and it's definitely going to look a lot better than that.
But you did an outstanding job. We are so excited about it.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
Yes.
The rest they know how to do. It's putting in the seats, attaching the door panels. It's all simple stuff, and I got to get home, so it's been great. Everybody's treated me wonderful. I have some stuff. Derek and I are going to get together and do a collaboration sometime in the future, and I'll let you know when that happens.
Thanks for everything.
Yeah, headed out.
Appreciate it. See you soon. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Jess.
Drive safe and let us know when you make it home.
So I, sitting back, kind of watching all this unfold, and it's very obvious because I'm starting to feel a little bit. We put some hours in, right? So took the guys out for some tacos, and that's if a guy can sit down and eat some tacos with some friends and allegedly have some wobble pops, cold snacks.
We decided to go out to get tacos and margaritas for lunch. Fantastic. Great food. No idea what the name of the place is. I'm sorry.
When you order the second largest tequila, margarita, whatever alcoholic thing, it came out in something you could put the goldfish that you won at the county fair in. It was very large and leads to some questionable things.
Back here at the shop, I just said, you know what, let's take a few minutes and just have a nice, calm, relaxing breather. Take a little break and just collect ourselves. And then we can get back to the truck.
I got talked into putting on a whole water rain suit and a helmet. I was told I could ramp the hill coming in and drive through the mud, was the idea. I thought Jared was just going to get his truck, come out, and try to pull me out. Next thing you know, he comes flying over the hill like a maniac.
Jared definitely just sucked water.
Hey, pal! Terrible. It's broke.
Always make questionable choices. I am the captain of questionable choices.
Need a lift?
Need a lift.
It's done. I blew up the engine of my truck. I had a 3% chance of success, and we were met with failure.
This whole thing didn't work out.
At all.
But we got the Scout rolling, pull us out.
Being from New York, I didn't know what a mud bog was, but I learned today. Now, as far as the mud bogging vehicles, I mean, this is new to me because I'm used to, lowered vehicles, that you keep on the road, like autocrossing, maybe going down the drag strip. But, to actually drive one in the mud and to each his own.
we're both stuck in the mud again.
You know, you need more boostuses, is what I'm saying. So I might have hit this a little bit slow. Granted, I've got all of 96 horsepower, but the fresh clay that was just trucked in, well, it did a number. And these good trips don't clean very good, turns out. So, you know, I'm stuck. You know, I just...
A golf cart in the middle, which is why the Scout's out here to begin with. He came to get me, mud puddle, poor choice.
Oh, I got waterproof boots. I'm fine. We'll just let this dry up for like the next month, and then I'll come back. Yeah. Overall, this kind of worked.
Yep. Yeah, I figured I needed to turn around so we were chewing, not slipping.
Keep turning.
Leather-bound books. Got the diesel out here just ripping. Pulling the Yamaha out. Turns out the R1 don't do good mud bogging. We'll change that though. Maybe a lip kit or something. Put some 14s on it. I don't know.
Hey, that didn't work. Hosed down in the yard like an animal.
Yeah. The goggles and helmet aren't stopping much.
Let's get this stench.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
There we go.
That really foamed up.
So we're down to the wire at this point. It's 11:59th hour. Pretty much the clock is, we're out of time, is what I'm saying. People got flights, people got to get home. They got their own businesses around, they got their families, they got all this stuff. So it started, you know, it's feeling like maybe we can't get this going in 3 days, but you know, regardless of where we end up, I'm just thankful that well, let me just say that I'm very happy with how far we've come, even if we don't get this thing running. I didn't even think we'd get a front clip on this thing, but it's down to the wire for sure.
Put this in here like this.
Is that upside down?
That's right.
Terry's a battery cable making machine now.
See that, right?
We're making it confusing. Black on the positive lead, but we have red to tell you it's positive with the black sleeve.
So clearly, you know, this is way more custom than I usually just run red cables on everything, you know, just make it really confusing for the next guy, but he's actually doing it.
Red cables and just wrapped it in black electrical tape, like
Oh,
every
yeah?
2-inch spirals.
That works. Yeah.
It's like, well, you cut it to whichever one you need. So if you need a positive, you just trim the black off the end. All of a sudden, you got positive cable.
It's that reverse flow cable.
Yeah. Jared's been doing a fantastic job in here, tucking all this back in here. We're using all this nice stuff from WireCare, and they have like, I don't even know how many different kinds of loom and styles and stuff like that. But it's coming together really nice. I mean, you can't even really see this stuff unless you're looking for it. And this will obviously, we'll get this all cleaned up, but all of like the charger and whirler cables are custom. I'm assuming that's the starter.
No, this is the relay power.
Okay.
Starter's next.
Starter's next, yeah. And these are those things we were talking about. We chatted about them a little bit in O'Reilly's, but you can bring power off the side, and then you can also use the main lug, of course, if you want to. Ooh, we might have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna put our lugs underneath. Once we get our couple lugs, that should hopefully sit
nice.
Here's some heat shield for the floor. There's the Velcro one you can wrap over your thing. This one is really fancy.
Bunch of wiring still on the front, and then we've got the main harness out of the fuse panel. We got to get that over to the battery, figure out what powers what, and then get that Holly fired up. But everything's going pretty good so far. I'm really happy with the progress.
What's going on in here?
We almost have all of our battery connections done, to where there's 4 or 5 wires on the inside, and then Derek has to figure out the factory truck wiring.
That should be easy to do. I need a positive in here, and the charging whirler, and a starter. Piece of cake. And clearly I've already organized all of this correctly in the past. So.
Did you do that solder job there as well? On the regulator?
Yeah, this one's mine. Yeah. It's spec. Whoever had this truck before, they did this like hook and loop thing. They must have been a Boy Scout or something. I'm not quite sure.
There's a fuel tank that's got to go in, I guess. And some wiring with that, the pump and the lines there. Still have a couple fittings we're waiting on, but I think we might just, zoo something together temporarily, see if we can get this thing fired up later today.
Well, we'll get to this after we get the fuel tank up. So we've all been talking about
We need to get to some plumbing.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while. I think it's time let's do it. All right, you ready? Good enough. Truck's going up, clear.
Well, I couldn't keep the truck on the ground anymore. Everyone else needed to get underneath because there's still a ton to do, and last day, and people are having to leave. So I'm now ladder, buttoning up work there.
I'm doing wire things. I'm putting speed sensors in.
Do they look like the right ones?
Yeah, they're different. Yeah, there's some funny business, and I'll figure it out because I'm a smart guy and I got good, smart friends around me.
We'll get it in, plugged in, and then you probably have to leave before you get to build. There was finally something for you to fabricate that wasn't getting scratched off the list, and you're out of time. But what do you think of the past couple days?
This is like a really special thing. We got a bunch of badasses here. We're all super, super talented and friendly. And like this doesn't happen a lot as adults, but that's the spice of life, and I'm having a great time.
Oh, it's fantastic.
We're gonna have to do this again.
This has been absolute fun, and it's been hard not to keep a smile while we were fighting.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's all get back to work because we're running out of time.
So we got transmission cooler. Got to make some brackets up for that. Then John's going to finish putting in that transmission cooler. We're mounting it in the rear, which is pretty cool, like up in where the captain side fuel tank originally would go if you had a 2-tank system. So we're kind of hiding that up in there. It's actually going to be really nice.
So guys making some brackets right now. These are going to be for the transmission cooler. And this one, we got to fit in there perfect. And that cooler is going to mount here. And then this goes to the bottom of the bed. And that's the angle we're going to have so air and wind, shoots through it. So now I just have to basically make another one. So all I'm going to do is roll this through the vise with the strap right next to it.
and I could perfectly mimic this one without having to do a bunch of measurements or any of the other stuff. Then I'm gonna punch a hole in these, and then I'm gonna spray them really quick with some, you know, so they don't rust, and then give them to John. Got the bracketry done. You know, I learned how to TIG weld yesterday, so we're hanging them by that. You know, that makes the most sense. Went with cast aluminum, so maybe it blends in with the other aluminum. Nope, not quite that close. These are gonna dry. We're gonna go get tacos and margaritas. You know, we gotta keep everybody fed, and then we'll come back and get the transmission cooler in. Wiring on the transmission's going great. We got a bunch of plumbing to do. The big thing still to do, you guessed it, is the fuel tank.
Fuel tank. We
haven't
finally
really
got the truck up, ready for doing these things. Biggest thing on the list is definitely getting this fuel tank and transmission cooler finished up, get this plumbing done underneath so we can get the truck back down, let the wiring stuff pan out. I can take a little break after I get the plumbing done and let Jared take over on what he really needs to do and needs the space.
We haven't
Just
really.
looks like a jungle with my wire or my plumbing
It does.
hoses down.
It's like
Hard
vents.
to see on the camera, but several hoses just waiting for us to finish.
We haven't really mentioned the fuel tank in the past, but it needs to get done at this point, I think. We just kind of, you know, we didn't really say anything about it because it's kind of a given. Yeah. But, yeah, I need the Craigslist rebuild back here. I think I gave up midway through the box. Yeah. Most likely out of paint, yep. What do we got going on here?
Oh, we're just mounting this transmission cooler finally.
And then I've got the filler neck off and the vent tube off. So we'll get the new rubber on that, get the tank set up here. We've got to get the filler necks put on first and those clamps, then connect the sending unit, then connect the fuel lines. Then we can wrestle it up into place and get all the tank strap bolts put in. It's kind of a project on that, guy. You can see all of the lines coming together. All this will be strapped up, of course, when it's finished, but those are pretty well roughed in. These are getting roughed in for the transmission. We got those sensors installed, tucked up.
This transmission came without speed sensors, so we gotta drop these in, plug it into the Holly harness.
Josh is drilling a hole up there to put a check valve in, which is gonna be like our vent. And then that plugs into here, and that's gonna help us, you know, do the fills and vent the stuffs. Everything else is ready to go. That's the last thing we almost forgot it actually. We were just going through the checklist, and once we get that done, we can lift her up in place.
A couple of bolts for the steering box. Usually it's 3, but this one had 2.5. When I say 2, when I say half, the other one was the wrong bolt. It should be a 5/8. It was a 9/16, so it's not gonna tighten, but we got that taken care of.
You gotta wonder how long these like projects like this, and when you find these like scary things, only 2 bolts holding the steering box, and how many miles it's driven like
exactly.
that.
Last thing you want is something to happen when or after we touched it, because we want to make sure it's done right.
Yeah, well, now it's documented that you did it, so if it fails, it's on you.
100%.
Hey, John.
Hello.
International Scout or International Pickup for mud bogging?
You both needed pulled out. This is a trick question. I still pick the Scout. I love Johnny, but
I thought we were friends.
For mud bogging, I would much rather ride in the Scout because I'm gonna be less in the mud.
I didn't get any mud on the interior. My shoes stayed dry.
Mine are not. But I was in a golf cart, so
how's that coming?
Slight disadvantage.
You got all 4 of your nut certs going, so trans cooler's ready to go. You need me to get you a wire.
We're almost gonna check something off soon.
So I need, what I'll do, did this come with a connector? Because I figured our ground loop.
It is bare wire.
Bare wire. Okay, so we'll put in some connectors.
It's in there.
We're gonna chassis ground the fan, and then I will have power to you shortly.
I like that.
I still have so many wires to pull.
I got that, and then I'm just gonna finish these 2 lines, and hopefully Derek will be done.
He'll get the fuel tank ready to hang.
And then I can actually finish that right as they're ready to put it up. it'll be perfect timing.
That? Yeah.
You know,
The impact.
I've wired several cars before, you know, and these guys take it to a new level. They're so meticulous with every detail as far as the routing.
Well, don't show
The
it
tubing.
till it's pretty. I'm just about to make it pretty.
You about to make it pretty?
I'm about to make it pretty.
No,
It's
but
not
even still,
pretty yet.
no, it's pretty. It's pretty.
Oh,
Trust
we
me.
got these clear. we
Yeah,
can't do
but even
that.
still,
Those
but
were
it's still
temporary.
pretty. It's still pretty. It's so pretty.
Oh yeah. You want to keep it tight, or do you want to kind of loose? You want to crank it up and then loosen it so that it might jiggle and you can align the holes in the frame?
Yeah. Let's give her a little more stretchy, and then we'll back her off. I'm just trying to
Well,
get.
there's not much left in this, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. You don't have to hit that one so I can get my wrench.
Oh, we knocked over the camera. Did we? I mean, I definitely moved it. I don't know.
Gonna do it from that side, or?
Oh yeah. Okay. There we go.
If you could just like put it in line, and then I can finish that hose.
That's about line-ish. All right.
Got the hose I'm gonna
Hard part is done. Now we're gonna wait for John, who's doing, well,
Cleaning things up.
everything at the moment.
Cleaning things up.
Then he'll come back and get the length for this for the return line, which is up here and kind of hard to get to. And once he cuts that, he'll put a fitting on this. We'll tighten that fitting up here. We'll undo this, which is our feed for our filter. That'll go back.
Meet up with
Then
what's in here.
we connect the wire that's too short to the sending unit. And then the ground that's also too short to go to this black one. And after we redo that, then we'll lift this tank up and it'll bolt right in and we're done. Piece of cake. We've been doing some stuff under here. Wires, hoses,
Got a whole lot taken care of.
clamps, other things. But I think what we're fixing on doing is putting this fuel tank in. We haven't really talked about it yet, but it's something that's holding up the process here.
We got one more thing to hook up.
No,
It's pretty much ready to go up now.
should be easy. 5 minutes. 10 minutes.
My plumbing, my fuel lines are all done. We got the fuel level sender hooked up. Ow, that was my elbow. Fuel pump, don't look at it, it's done.
There's a ground over here somewhere.
We'll just put it to the drive shaft or something.
That'll work until it doesn't.
Transmission cooler is up and all mounted, ready to go. All I have to do is hook these two lines up, but I'm running these hoses with the fuel lines. So once we get the fuel tank up and I can secure the lines nicely, then I can actually know how long those need to be and don't make them too long or anything crazy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and put this fuel tank up after we eat some of this jerky.
What is it? Carolina Reaper.
Carolina
pepper.
Reaper. It's fantastic.
Pretty good.
Terry, yeah, get some of
Get
that.
some of that here.
Hey guys, how can I help?
Oh,
Well,
we're
we can hook.
fixing on putting the fuel tank up.
You came at a bad time. This is actually a lot of work.
We haven't really discussed it yet, but
We'll eat some jerky and talk about it.
this tank's gotta go
I
up.
do need.
Don't worry about it, just bring it out like this, see? Then in on the color, out for the mist. This is fine, you can go right over this. Just, that's fine. Over here, then out, a little bit farther out, and then just up like this, like hairspray, like your mom used to do, you know what I mean? And then in. Just give me a minute, I'll show you what this is gonna look like. It's gonna be really good. Got just a scooch. There's like a bubble of rust back here. I don't know if you can see it, it's more over here. So I'm gonna get in here and just, you know, not too much though. You gotta let this eat. So you gotta get a first layer, and then there's chemical adhesion
of scientific properties. Atoms are, they're busying around right now doing the adhesions.
Well, this is up here in my teeth. I don't know why I gave up on her. I think I ran out of product. You can see all the undercoating and treatment and stuff right there. Not so much here or here. I found a few more cans of this. This is all I'm using is this Duplicolor undercoat sound eliminator. You can pretty much find it at any parts store. Super easy to use. Just get her in there. One thing you don't want to do though is trap any moisture underneath this. That ain't gonna help you out, fellas. I'm gonna go through here and just completely rebuild the frame. This is also gonna give me all new bushings and also self-greases anything back here as well. Check in with you here in a little bit. A little bit of an update. 2 cans in, you could see how just easy and cheaply you can, you know, spruce up the rig a little bit. Just gonna keep working my way down, taping off stuff if I need to, which means nothing needs to be taped off. And just burning a little bit of time. John's almost got that fitting on. Then we're gonna lift that tank up and.
The fuel lines are done. I'm hooking up the electrical now.
Oh, you're on the digitals?
Yeah, fuel lines are done.
Okay, we've got positive fuel pump, negative lead is on. This would just bring right to the frame. Sending unit ground or tank ground, I guess as a whole. This whips around, it's grounded to the frame. These are on and clamped. So at this point, we're gonna wrestle it up in here and get the filler neck and the vent tube put on. I've got the, I thought I did. Oh yeah, she's over here just hanging out. So we're gonna snip this on right here. I got a 74-foot extension for that. And once you get those on up here, then we can tilt the tank up. And what I usually like to do is hang this rod from the strap. There's 2 of them, of course. Oh, so if you hang it up here, then you can get enough leverage, get a guy's arm up in there, get the hardware put in, and you're good to go.
Down in the dungeon is all we know, where the shining light, we never go into the open. As far as you can see it, wasting there a big bright destiny. Don't you feel like breaking free? Open your eyes, embrace what you see now. Don't you feel like cutting loose? Yeah, cutting loose, cutting loose. I'm alive.
Oh, we're just making sure it's not completely full of water, anything crazy. So
it is kind of.
There's a little bit. There's a little milky, but it's not terrible.
Just condensation. Probably.
I was slightly impressed after finding out this sat outside for 2.5 years. It was wrapped up pretty good. Wrapped up. All right, so we got the whole fuel tank all in. Ready to go. Fuel lines done. We are missing 2 fittings to put our fuel filter in. It's over there. It's a -8 fuel filter, so we need 8 to 6 adapters. We're gonna put the fuel filter in right in here somewhere. But we have fuel line just hooked up for now, so we can try to start it with no filter. Terrible idea, but that's what we're doing. We got fuel lines all plumbed. Transmission cooler is plumbed all the way around. Right over here.
Why are you in his room? That's not working.
All done up.
Why are you there?
There's people yelling in the background.
I like your fuel
Don't
filter.
mind them. Yeah, the fuel filter is not great, but all this is tied up. We can go back down momentarily. We found out that the rear differential is completely empty. I was waiting for Derek to come back to find me some gear lube.
What do we need, like 1030? 2050?
Maybe a little heavier.
Oh, I don't know if I have any, but I'll look.
I looked a little bit. I didn't see anything. But yes, we are all done under here. We are going to pick up some tools, and we are going to go back down and let Jared and myself and Derek are going to try to get this thing wired up enough to crank it up, start it up tonight. All right, Terry, we got a lot of things we can mark off on this list now. Oh, you're getting ready.
Yeah, I gotta
get ready.
Just in case.
All right, we'll try it again. Yeah, we're not doing that.
No.
So scratch that.
Okay.
All right, fuel pump is wired up.
Yep. Get rid of the fuel tank as well.
Fuel tank is up. Plum fuel. Yep.
Yep.
I did that today.
All right.
Trans cooler.
Yep.
That's done.
Yep. Trans cooler fan.
That's done. Oil. Derek's doing that right now.
Yep.
I'm on the fenders and hood.
Derek, I'm crossing off oil.
Yep.
Nailing it.
Nailed it.
Don't forget the tacos. Those got to go.
Oh, I did have tacos at lunch today.
We did, yes. Bed liner.
Body gaps. We did all that today.
The bed liner. Don't forget that. Thanks to Jessica. Thank you, Jessica.
Jessica did bed liner.
Yes, she did.
Derek did the speakers and wire the radio. We checked the rear diff fluid. It's still low. I'm not going to cross that off.
No, we're going to hold on to that one. What about trans fluid?
We have not done that. We're going to do that when Derek's done with his deal.
Dissect wire.
That's not done.
That's not done.
That's not done.
All right, so we came a long way.
We need to get.
So
yeah, we can't really. Yeah.
This list is looking fantastic. All right, let's do trans fluid and some coolant. Okay. Let's do that.
We might as well.
Jared's in here working on power wire to the fuse panel and a couple other things. We're
down to like three. I think three.
That ain't bad.
It's one of those things that no matter how quickly you try to make the wiring happen, if you rush wiring, it's not going to work. Maybe it'll work for the first start, but it's going to fail short after. So it's just, wiring shorts. Get it? Electricity short. It's funny. Laugh for me. I'm not Derek. I'm doing the best I can.
Terry's over there making a ground cable. We're working on grounds right now. So he's going to cut off this top post head and put on a 3/8 straight bolter upper fitting.
Yeah, make it look nice.
And I'm taking out some clamps in here. We're getting set to do block to battery, block to frame. So we'll come off here. I can get a bolt in down here and then go straight from that to the frame, and then we need one more to like the chassis, which we can maybe take off the back of the engine over here. Just making sure everything is bonded correctly, because as you can see, there's a lot of digitals going on right now, but we're getting really close to where we feel like we could potentially get this thing fired up. Over here on this harness, the original harness, we've got accessory powers there. This is the actual key start I've pulled out, and then we need one of these two to get the old charging whirler excited. We don't know which one yet, but we'll put a meter on that once we get her fired up. The rest of this can really be thinned out, and then we're down to just putting this in looms and getting the headlights and all of that stuff set up, which shouldn't be too bad. Terry's making good progress on the grounds over here. I'm over here working on this factory loom yet. Got everything separated where I need it to be. This is going to be our keyed here. I'm going to redo that. It was all cobbled up. Found the ones that need 12 constant. Put a fusible link in here. I'll break this out and put this over here. And then I'm going to loom everything around the front. Come back in, grab the 12 volts here off the battery, and then we'll have the ignition start, shoot on through down there to the starter, and that should pretty well button this up. It's just going a little bit slower than I had hoped for, because, well, there's just a lot of digging and understanding and figuring out what don't we need and what do we need kind of deal, but We're nearing the end here on the digitals.
So as our buddy Josh always says, it comes down to the wire. I've got 2 left right here. It's just been a matter of, while it looks disorganized right now, it's just kind of, we don't have the ECU mounted because the carpet needs to live in place, but everything is going in perfectly. Again, brake switch and key switch power. Then the interior is effectively ready to go, and it's just been a monumental task and just trying to get it all done, because if you don't do it right the first time, you're not going to go back and do it right later. We've got Derek doing electro digitals.
Questionable digitals.
So we've just got to get power connected to feed the truck, and
switch to the ignition switch to the starter.
I'm scared you put a fuse in something.
I know, just don't tell anybody. And then this,
that down to the alternator.
Yeah, charger whirler there. And then I'm just gonna bring in the lighting, lube all this up together, mount the fuse off to the side, bring everything around front, catch the battery on the lathe, fire up the fuse panel, and then shoot down to the starter. And
Terry's been busy making grounds.
It's always down to the wire.
Down to the wire.
You know how bad it is when Derek is tickled that much after hearing it the 50th time. We could just lay it across the top, the core support.
Oh yeah,
energized.
Start sparking stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I meant like with the ends. We don't have to prettify it to start it.
Well, that's what GM did. Eventually, they gave up and just ran it in a plastic loop that would break and crack and cut your forearms.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Like the one guy in the basement's like, Bob, figure out what to do with this wire, and he was like, here? They were like, yeah, that's
Was
sure.
the area the last name of Bob?
Could have been. Okay, so I just spent 37 weeks wiring the front here for these 2 wires, essentially. This one goes down on the starter. This one, you know, well, what took so long actually is I wired it all, and then I took all that out, and then I wired it again the right way. Apparently, I was told. So now we can actually have headlights and all that stuff, but we just got to hook this to here. Jared's going to run this down to the starter, and then all of this stuff, well, in this one, and this one too, and these guys, they go to this thing. And then I think wiring is technically done, because I don't need headlights or turn signals or fog lights or any of that stuff.
Or the gauges.
Or the gauges, yeah.
We're gonna circle back to that.
Well, those are like comforts. They're not like necessary. You know?
We just want to hear some noises.
Exactly. I want to hear.
Try to hear some noises.
I want to hear open
today.
headers, and it goes into a gear, and then wind. Big wind.
Josh, come here.
Yes, sir.
Derek.
What we got going on?
You need to cross something off the list?
Oh yeah.
No way. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Finally.
Good job, man. This thing looks really good on the wiring. Like, really, it's too good for me, honestly. Like, exceptional. Thank you for the hard work.
So now we're churching that last little body harness for the dissect wire.
Mm-hmm.
And
we turned the key, I think.
Yeah. The map is loaded.
Well, I got to find some old lawnmower gas first. Then we're turning the key.
I have good news. You don't need old lawnmower gas. We still have the 5 gallons of emergency reserves you didn't bring with you. And I'm not going to need that in my truck to get home with.
He doesn't need that anymore.
Yeah.
He made sure he did not fill it.
Rodney protested.
The international knock-knock doesn't need it?
No.
I think you shrunk a couple rods.
I think it shrunk and broke.
Isn't that just variable compression?
Yeah.
For a little bit. But
I
think it took some
piston
valves
skirts
with it.
whacking on the counterweight though.
You didn't hear him crank it out in the water.
Yeah, I didn't. You're right.
I did. I heard it immediately. That's the only reason I wasn't out there trying to help you. I heard it immediately.
What did the water say to the piston? Slap.
Yeah, there was.
It stopped.
You had a better vantage point though, floating.
I
on
was
a Yamaha
right next to it,
golf cart.
floating.
Yeah.
I was right there.
Fingers crossed.
We're technically day 4, but this is day 3.
Is it?
I
Oh my
mean,
goodness. That's
it's midnight.
Yeah.
What is going on here? Oh.
Well, we gotta keep it cool. You know what I mean? We're gonna put the 50-50 in her and let her rip. I don't know how long we're gonna run it, but it'd be nice to have this in there.
Putting coolant in is a very promising time of a build.
Exactly. It means you're definitely getting close.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Oh wait.
You got the.
I think that's close.
That kind of closed.
I'm not sure.
We're gonna find out in a minute. Put a little more in, we'll find out.
Right. Maybe the hose clamps are tight. I'm not sure who was on that, but we'll find out.
Not myself.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yep, we're done with coolant.
All right.
Crossing something off?
Dissect wire. Coolant. Okay. Check rear diff, it's empty. Check trans after running, questionable.
Gauges and dash and interior. So does that mean?
Just check these two because this is still low. That's low. That
you checked.
I mean, that's you did check it, but it's not full.
Oh, not literally check it. Okay.
Oh.
So, but this means I think we're ready to actually turn the key on this thing. Let's see what happens.
All right. Let's just
turn the key and see what happens. No plan?
Yeah, why not?
No fuel pump.
Oh, do we need to go to the accessory?
We got nothing. Got no starter, no.
Did you put the fuse in the fuse holder?
No, I did not.
A fuse.
A fuse?
A fuse.
You know, fuses tend to be just a kryptonite thing for me.
And that's what they should be.
Is that one?
But why wouldn't the fuel pump run?
Because
it's
that's
off
maybe the
ignition.
accessory.
It doesn't power up any of.
It's not really. I mean, he likes cars. I mean,
Okay.
It didn't pop. I'm gonna leave the cap
He likes
off.
that.
Just in case.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
All right.
But
Let's
as
try
far
the
as,
key
like, all
on.
the other ones, you know, like.
Mark. Go
Babe,
pop.
that's a thing. 1 second. Let's do a quick leak check up here. Oh, off. There's a fuel light. We need a 6. There's a plumbing leak.
My bad.
We got our first key check, and we got
that's what you got to do. Yeah.
Okay,
the
we got
first leak.
Computer's on. Fuel pump fired. Just doing a leak check. The
I
leak
see there's some burpage right here.
The leak is good because we know we got fuel.
Smells like good
right?
fuel.
Yeah. Listen,
Was it? Which?
it's the input to
It's
the
definitely
regulator on
like
the side.
83 octane or something. I wonder, should a guy put a light bulb?
Yep.
All right, key on. You see the back.
I'll go get Derek's face over
get
here.
That's
Swipe some fittings, see what we got.
all right. Send it, Derek.
Fingers crossed.
All right, what's the Holly saying?
Perform a TPS auto restart before startup. They want a TPS reset.
Okay.
TPS.
Wizards. TPS auto set.
Sounds like we got a cylinder down.
Slowly push it to the floor twice.
Do you want me to cycle the key first or after?
Go ahead, right? All the way down, up, down, up.
Successful?
Successful. Let me open up our monitor. 16.7 volts. That's impressive. How long has that battery been around?
It was almost 3 years in the elements in the bed of this truck.
Impressive.
Never hit a charger, still in the box.
All right.
Ready?
Yep. Oh! Give it a little gas because the throttle needs. Go ahead and hold it just a All right, what?
Oh. Good job.
High five.
Awesome, dude.
It makes
Good
noise.
job, everyone.
Wait.
Ladies, thank you.
Here, hold.
Appreciate it.
Ladies, thanks for the help.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you got to step back.
This is
the one remember.
Terrible. 8 friends there. And then we were the best 8 friends there ever was. The truck ran for 3.9 seconds. That's all I need. It runs. Sounded pretty good.
That sounded nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rowdy.
And obviously that's a very bass tune. It's no O2s. There's a ton of tuning still left to be done, but it's alive. It's well. And I can't thank everybody here enough. This is absolutely the amount of work that we did in 3 days is crazy if you think about it, because it's many, 12, 15, 16-hour days times all of these. So here's the thing. I hope that, well, I'll just say something like this. When everybody first showed up, I think we were like focused on our trade, like our skill, like everybody kind of just magnetized towards, I know how to do this or that or whatever. But in the last couple days, it started being more about like,
How can I support you?
right, just conversation of how can I help, and just generally like, how are you, and what's your goals, and where are you at in life, and what's your plans, and
None of that I'm bigger than what you're asking me
right,
to do.
but the conversation piece, like the nucleus of that, was just an old farm truck, right, and that's so cool, and that's what just motivates me to keep doing this over and over and over again. So I hope that you guys can go find an old truck or car and include your friends and family. And I think you're going to be really surprised with what comes out of that. So again, thank you guys so much. This is really awesome. Hurry up. So, no, we're looking forward to, we'll be at shows with this thing, sharing it with you, and you might see these guys again, or you might see us on one of these channels or doing
I ain't ever
something
coming
like
back.
So be sure to check out Motion Raceworks, Coverman 66, Vague Industries, Wrench Every Day, of course, Vice Script Garage. And thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate it very much. Check the links in the description. See you guys next time.